Effective supervision in contemporary educational settings demands a leadership approach that is both data-informed and technologically literate. Leaders who skillfully integrate diverse data types and digital tools into supervision practices can promote instructional improvement, support teacher growth, and monitor equitable outcomes for all learners. Equally important are commitments to assessment literacy and ethical stewardship of student and staff data. This video examines the roles of data types, their use in instructional decision-making, the affordances of digital tools for supervision and professional learning, and the responsibilities leaders hold for protecting privacy and ensuring equitable technology use. Understanding data types and their roles, a foundational element of data-informed leadership is recognizing the distinct purposes of formative, summative, qualitative, and quantitative data. Formative data, gathered continually during instruction through observations, exit tickets, quizzes, and student work samples, provides real-time evidence of student understanding and informs immediate instructional adjustments. Summative data, such as end-of-unit assessments, standardized test scores, or final projects, provides a retrospective summary of learning and can inform larger-scale program or curriculum decisions. Quantitative data, numerical measures including test scores, attendance rates, and behavior incident counts, enable trend analysis, comparisons across groups, and monitoring of progress against measurable objectives. Qualitative data, observations, interviews, student and teacher reflections, and artifacts, supply rich contextual information that explains the why behind trends and reveals nuances not captured by numbers alone. Both qualitative and quantitative evidence are essential. When combined, they yield a fuller, more reliable basis for decisions. Data use for instructional decision-making, assessment literacy, and equity monitoring. Assessment literacy, the ability of leaders and teachers to design, interpret, and act on assessments appropriately, is central to meaningful data use. Leaders should cultivate staff understanding of valid assessment design, reliability, alignment to learning standards, and appropriate interpretation of results. This literacy supports targeted instructional decisions, using formative assessments to differentiate instruction, using summative outcomes to evaluate curriculum effectiveness, and triangulating data sources to validate conclusions. Data-driven instructional decision-making should be cyclical and collaborative. Supervisors can lead data team meetings that review formative and summative evidence, set clear learning goals, and co-construct action plans for instruction or intervention. Protocols for data conversations help ensure focus on improvement rather than blame, encouraging reflective practice, goal setting, and measurable next steps. Monitoring equity gaps is another critical application. Leaders must disaggregate quantitative data by subgroup, e.g., race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, English learner status, special education, to detect disparities in achievement, access, or discipline. Qualitative inquiries, surveys, focus groups, classroom observations, can illuminate systemic barriers or culturally responsive practice shortfalls. Using data to diagnose inequities enables leaders to deploy resources strategically, adjust instructional practices, and track whether interventions narrow gaps over time. Digital tools for supervision, observation, feedback, and professional learning. Digital tools amplify the efficiency and reach of supervision when thoughtfully selected and implemented. Learning management systems, LMS, centralize curriculum materials, formative assessments, and student work, enabling teachers and supervisors to monitor engagement and mastery in near real time. Video coaching platforms allow teachers to record lessons and receive targeted feedback. These tools support reflective practice by permitting slow, repeated review and time-stamped commentary tied to instructional moves. Observation and feedback apps streamline data collection during walkthroughs and formal observations, standardizing evidence capture and facilitating timely, actionable feedback. Dashboards and data visualization tools help leaders synthesize large datasets into accessible, interpretable formats. Well-designed dashboards surface trends, flag outliers, and make disaggregated data readily available for conversations about instruction and equity. Importantly, digital tools can expand professional learning through blended modalities, virtual PLCs, micro-credentials, and curated resource repositories hosted within LMS platforms increase access to sustained, job-embedded development. However, effective technology integration requires clear goals, professional development, and alignment to pedagogical priorities. Tools should be evaluated for how well they support formative practices, promote collaborative inquiry, and reduce rather than increase administrative burden. Leaders must also guard against over-reliance on any single metric or platform, maintaining a balanced approach that privileges instructional insight over convenience. Safeguarding data privacy and ethical use of technology. As schools adopt more digital platforms, leaders shoulder heightened responsibilities for data privacy, security, and ethical use. Compliance with legal frameworks, such as FERPA in the United States and other jurisdictions' regulations, is a baseline requirement. Leaders must ensure appropriate data sharing agreements, transparent policies, and secure storage practices. Vendor vetting is essential. Contracts should specify data ownership, permitted uses, retention periods, and protections against third-party exploitation. Beyond legal compliance, ethical stewardship involves minimizing data collection to what is necessary, anonymizing or aggregating sensitive information when possible, and informing stakeholders about data practices. Equity considerations intersect with privacy. Surveillance technologies or overly granular data collection can disproportionately affect vulnerable student groups or foster mistrust. Leaders should adopt principles of transparency, consent, and proportionality, engaging educators, families, and students in dialogue about the benefits and risks of data use. Practical steps for leaders to operationalize data-informed, technology-enabled supervision. Leaders can take several practical steps: build assessment literacy through ongoing professional development and collaborative data protocols. Establish clear purposes for data collection and align tools to those purposes, prioritizing formative use that directly informs instruction. Implement platforms, LMS, video coaching, observation apps, dashboards, selectively, with training and expectations for use, and monitor their impact on instructional practices. Regularly disaggregate and examine data to identify and address equity gaps, pairing quantitative analyses with qualitative inquiry. Develop and enforce robust data governance policies, vet vendors, limit data access by role, and maintain transparent communication with stakeholders about data practices. In conclusion, data-informed leadership that harnesses appropriate technologies can strengthen supervision, improve instruction, and promote equitable student outcomes. Success requires fluency with multiple data types, commitment to assessment literacy, strategic selection and use of digital tools, and rigorous attention to privacy and ethics. When leaders balance technical capability with pedagogical purpose and moral responsibility, data and technology become powerful allies in advancing meaningful, equitable learning for all students.